What is up? Need for Speed Racers. It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. We're here. Volume 7 patch notes are hot off the presses, fresh on the Need for Speed website. There's a lot of good stuff here. I've already read through them, and I am beyond excited, and I needed to get this, guys, to you as soon as I could, because a lot of guys want to hear my opinions on it, and they'd rather watch a video than read through the patch notes themselves. So we're going to go over it together. I've withheld my opinion on this. People have been asking me on stream, like, hey, what do you think is going to come? What do you want to see? And I'm like, I honestly don't want to weigh in, because whatever they bring, I'm happy that they're updating the game. And I don't want to set an expectation that they're not going to meet, and then I'm upset about it. So I didn't know what to expect going in, and I think that they've nailed it based on what I can read. We'll see tomorrow, and check me out on stream. I'm going to do a lot longer stream once this drops, because I want to be playing with you guys and exploring these new events and figuring it out as we go. Let's dig into it. There is some awesome stuff here, so let's go. Dum-dum-dum-tis, bunch of filler, nobody cares. Okay, cool. So gameplay, this is huge for us, guys. They added the drag mode in PvP and in free roam. So you're going to be able to queue up for PvP and do drag racing, but you're also going to be able to queue that up in the free roam events, so that way when there's a bunch of us on server racing together, if you guys join me on stream, we're going to be able to do that. So that's awesome. Right here, it's 4 players on the starting grid, so the drag modes are going to be set up for just 4 racers only, so that'll be a little bit more condensed from the 8 that we normally get, but for drag racing, that's plenty. As we read into this, they've got a new tire warm-up sequence, so that way you start with burst nos, so that's cool, kind of like the burnouts would have been in Pro Street. And then, in addition to that, they've got lane changing, like the old drag events were, like in Most Wanted or Underground, to where you've got to select your lane and, you know, be in the right spot, and you're not just controlling the car outright. It's kind of like pick a lane and get through it. They've also got a UI sequence change, so that way there's gear shifting. You got to be in the sweet spot to get the good shift to go faster there, which is going to be awesome. And then, basically, it's going to be like the perfect launch is what we currently have in the game, where you're in the sweet spot to get a good boost. I think it's going to be that, but for a multiple of different gears. And then within the warm-up sequence of having the burst nos at the start, it's more of the skill game and then know what lane to be in for what tracks and stuff. It's going to be really sweet. So I'm excited to start building cars specifically for this type of event. And then they touch on, they've got half mile, quarter mile, and then some longer strips. So it should be strips. It says longer stips, whatever. It's all good. They proofread it one time. I'm really pumped about that. It sounds to me like they've really taken the best features of what previous drag racing iterations of Need for Speed has brought to us, and then they've changed it up with some of the Unbound flavor, and I'm excited. I'm excited. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens within that, but based on what I read here, I think that they've really done well as a group. So shout out to the developers for at least baiting me with some amazing text. We'll see how it really plays out, but I'm excited for that. They added new drift tires, you guys. I don't know if this will shake up the meta for racing, but we'll see. But as far as the drifting, like for points status goes, that has shifted a lot. They've added Drift Pro tires, and so there's certain events, which is like the Drift Pro events, and you have to have those tires on to get into that. They've changed the way that the car handles overall, so you get deeper steering angles, longer drifts, and a better or greater sense of being able to feel when the car is going to lose control. And so they say that you'll be able to chain drift together and really stay and slay some tires, which is cool. So to me, it sounds like with those tires on, you're going to be able to just get the car a lot deeper and hold a much more steady drift, which, you know, in before every single drift record gets broken because we can go deeper into that. So that's pretty cool. The mode itself, they said they took big inspiration from Underground, streamlined scoring multiplier and chaining, and then they've got some like tandem kind of thing going with twin drifting, i.e. drifting in tandem with other players, but you still got collisions off, so that's kind of neat. But they said that they might add collisions later if, as a community, you guys want that. So make sure you weigh in with these developers when they post patch notes and stuff in places where you can comment, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, you know, whatever, X. Let them know how you feel, because that really seems like they're listening to the community. So I got to give them props once again for that. It's pretty positive overall. I've got nothing bad so far. Added drift tires and improved drift handling, kind of like we talked about there. So once again, I don't know if just the drift tires themselves changed the handling characteristics of the cars. So we probably will have some different drift for points builds coming out later on. I really don't drift for points a lot because I didn't like the way it was set up. But I'm going to give it a go with this new update and see what that brings. Might be a lot of fun for us. Definitely check out my man DeBuster. He does a lot of the drifting game and holds a lot of really good records in the points category. So I know that he's going to be hot on the scene with some stuff. They say overall it's not going to cost a lot to get the tires. I just don't know how that's going to translate for you drift racers out there if these tires are going to shake up the meta for the racing category side of things. But we'll see how it goes. Added league in free roam. Now, I read that and got, like, giddy. I was like, oh, what do you mean, league? It curb your enthusiasm just a little bit. Basically, it's inspired by URL, which is the Underground Racing League in Underground series. That mixed by a lot of the people that played Underground. They were longer track-style races. They weren't found on the streets. They were found on the track. Cool, but they're bringing that to the free roam online. So you're able to go and compete in the league and work your way up against AI opponents. And I guess this is like Ross right here is the one to watch in the drag racing. And so as you beat these challenges and you unlock the opportunity to take on these racers and move up the league, I'm not sure what that's going to mean. I'm not sure if these challenges are just kind of like the hot laps where you're just going against a preset time, or if you're actually going to be doing like some one-on-one stuff where you have to queue up for a race and it's just you versus the AI, which if that's the case, that would be super, super cool. Because we've all been asking for the ability to race against AI from the get-go, because we'd like to run some of these tracks maybe solo if somebody else doesn't want to queue up for the race. So we'll see. I'm not sure what that's going to bring. I don't want to set an expectation where that's the whole thing will be caked into you being able to race AI. But overall, it seems like they are trying to add more things for us to do as racers and gamers, and it seems like it's going to be pretty sweet. So the new races new racers to take on will be released over the course of the next volume. So week after week, they're going to be updating that. Don't know what the updates are going to look like. We'll have to see as they come across, but that's exciting. So select rival racers, and we'll get to get their vehicles, and if we beat them on one-on-ones. So that, to me, in a one-on-one fashion, made it seem like out in free roam online, I will be able to race these people. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's exciting, because if they're adding AI to online for these events, we're only one step away from maybe having the ability to just, if we queue up a race and nobody joins, it gives us a couple AI racers, and then we could practice tracks and do stuff in solo queue, which would be really fantastic. So they say that there's going to be 12 racers to beat total, and actually 13. Check the community challenge for that. So we're going to talk about the community challenges right now. The community challenge in League, this is going to be kind of cool. Something else for us to do. This is what we've been asking for, just more to do, and so that's exciting. Take on the community challenge, sticking it to the cops. This sounds like Link Ups Plus, but we'll see. Fulfill the challenges, and, well, there are some murmurings. The person setting up the challenges will grace us with their presence and their custom cars up for grabs. So sounds like as you progress through the community challenges, if you do a bunch of them, you can then do a one-on-one potentially for a custom car of some kind, which would be neat. So we'll see. As this stuff starts to come out, I will be hot on the scene with that, and if there's a need for videos kind of itemizing how to do that, what the best cars are for that, so that way you guys can get these things done, I will do that for you, because I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page and that you've got the best weapons in your arsenal to go up against this stuff. So the community challenge is going to go live during the volume, so it's not going to be out yet with volume 7, but it sounds like volume 7 has already got all the pieces baked into it, so that way when they press the button and send it live, it's ready to go. All right, we move on to the good stuff. Added new PvP races. Ooh, yes, let's go. So new volume means, of course, new races. I love how they say, of course, because for like 5 volumes, we did not have new races. But hey, you know, whatever. Well, it's the new standard, I guess. Cool, I'm with it. New Legends playlists, and now including Drag and Drift. So a total of 37 playlists. Playlists either contain 1 endurance race or 3 races. So that's huge. That's a lot of new setups, whether if they're taking old tracks and just mixing up the format, whatever it might be. That's wonderful. That's really great for us. I hope Shapeshifter, one of my favorite playlists, makes a return. They removed that from the game for some reason, and we haven't seen it since. So, like, rip Shapeshifter. 20 pro drift routes. So for the pro drift with the new tires and stuff, there's 20 new events for that. 10 are new, nobody's ever done before, and then 10 are remixed. So there's 20 of the 37, but still that's really great. 37 drag routes. That's awesome. So that's basically new tracks, whether it be quarter mile, half mile, or the longer races. All new routes for us to learn. And if you guys played the Underground games or Most Wanted, the drag races in their own right were kind of like a mini game puzzle, because you had to be in the right lane because of the way traffic would spawn and stuff, or to get around the train, or to jump over the train at the right point. And so it's kind of like 37 new mini games in a sense, because the races aren't very long. But that's really exciting. Like, that's great. That is a fully fleshed out drag racing format. Like, they're not slouching there, so that's really great to see. 10 brand new race routes for the NFS Legends playlists. Don't know what that means. It says NFS Legends, and then they kind of tease us here, being able to drive in Eddie and Rachel's iconic Skyline, and then Rachel's 350Z. So Eddie's Skyline, many of you have seen that. I've even showcased that livery on the channel. And then Rachel's iconic 350Z is beautiful. So that's going to be cool. I think that we might be racing up against them, potentially. Or maybe we're stuck in those cars. We'll see. Not sure. For equal performance playlists, which would be like we're all driving the same car, and it looks like the Ford Mustang Dark Horse is the new car on the scene. So that is brand new to the game. The Dark Horse 2024 model. We'll see how it handles. Historically speaking, the Mustangs as a whole, and most muscle cars in the game have been very underwhelming. So hopefully it's going to be amazing. And then we also have the same type of format. It's 4 equal performance playlists for the BMW M3 Competition Touring 2023. So we got a brand new M3 BMW. That's pretty tight. We've got a lot of BMWs in the game already, but an M3, it's nice to see. Hopefully it's decent, and we'll be having builds on that very quickly once that car drops. It's going to be all hands on deck, and I'm going to be getting you guys the builds first, like I always do, so that way you've got them before anybody else. All right, so we move on a little bit. Added new races, events, and changed our meetup structure in free roam. Thank you. We are blessed. It's going to be amazing. New races and events can be played in free roam, as they can in PvP. That's awesome. I'm hoping that a lot of the really awesome tracks that were locked behind the PvP R8 playlist is now available to all of us, because that's what I want. Those are some great tracks, but we were stuck in a stock R8, which wasn't terrible, but you know. Additionally, you can equip Pro Drift tires to take the streets of Lakeshore. So you can run your Pro Drift tires on your car and go get super sideways and just slide everywhere. In order to make things easier for us to find, they've changed the way the meetups work. This is actually really good, because there was some B playlists over here, and there was S plus playlists and mixed playlists all around, and it was just like, unless you really knew where stuff was located, you might not find the track you want in the playlist that you want. So I've even been guilty of that. So it's going to be great to see that. So the University Meetup is going to have all the Drift Pro events, or that's what I'm interpreting here. It doesn't say all, but let's just... Drift Pro events are in the University Meetup. Storm Drain Meetup contains the drag events. Cool, easy. Powder Hound Meetup contains Drift, Gauntlet, and Rumble. So the Drift Pro events are separate from the regular Drift events, Gauntlet, and Rumble events. Okay. We'll just see how that goes. I like that those are all kind of tucked into one spot. So, because the Gauntlets are fun, and the Rumble events are kind of slept on, but not bad if you have the right car. So the fact that that one meetup has got kind of all the off-brand racing in it is nice. Dunder M Park contains car-locked events. So that'll be the Nissan, the Audi, you know, the ones that have come out, the Porsche, all of those car-locked events. Hopefully those races that are in those car-locked events are also found elsewhere in the map. Cross our fingers, boys. Motor City B. So Motor City is going to have B and A tier street races. Cool. or B and A plus, excuse me. Jefferson Meetup is getting A and S, and Edgewater is getting S plus. It's kind of weird that they went with B and A plus and then A and S. I think that's a weird pairing. Why didn't they just do B and A and then A plus and S? But maybe that's because there was more races for those categories and so it balanced it. I'm not sure. I'm not the boss. I don't work here. All right, they've increased the max rank, you guys. So if you got to rank 200, you now get to push it to 250. The new 50 ranks as more exclusive underground theme and accompanied by rank icons, titles, banners, unlocking every 10 ranks. So it's just more cool stuff for you guys to go unlock, go grind, go have fun. I only made it to like level 151 or 152, doing it legit. So, I mean, there's a lot more to go lock down, which is tight. Like, if I made it to 151 and then I have this whole volume to do that next 100 ranks, I should be able to get there eventually. We'll see how it goes. Content, they've added new cars, like we discussed, and we'll kind of go through those. Keeping it wagon style along the RS6 from Volume 6. BMW M3 Competition Touring, bringing more horses, whatever. And then the Ford Mustang Dark Horse, that'll be cool. And this is the key, guys. Both come with our updating handling model. So there's a chance that those cars are going to slay because the updated handling model is kind of bonkers. The RS5 is taking records right now. The R8 shattered a bunch of records. And so as the drifters are getting more and more into those cars, they're really fast. They're very stable. I'll be interested to see what the Dark Horse and also the M3 bring us. More excited about the BMW than I am another Mustang because I think, honestly, and hot take here, if you have one, don't be offended, but I think Mustangs and Camaros are like the Me Too movement of cars. Like, oh, you've got a Mustang? Oh, cool, me too. Oh, you got a Camaro? Oh, yeah, dude, me too. Doesn't matter what's under the hood because they all look the same. Like a V6 Corvette, no, excuse me, not a Corvette, a V6 Mustang or a Camaro looks the same as the V8 or the GTR 350 or whatever it would be. Like, I'm not really a Mustang guy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my 18-year-old daughter could just as much have a Camaro that looks the exact same as your ZL1. You know, it's like, whatever. Me too. Cool. So I clown on that, but it's all good. They're fast, especially if you get the Chevy product. Anyway, new cars. Rant over. Mustang Dark Horse with 3 body kits. M3 Competition Touring with 3 body kits. Melissa's custom Mitsubishi Eclipse from Need for Speed Underground. That's cool. We'll see what that's about. Anytime that they have a custom car from a previous game, sometimes in the customs tab, that car has different engine options or performance parts that I can put on it that's not found in the stock form. So each one of these has potential to be different, maybe improved from the previous iterations. So we'll see what that brings. Might just be a body kit, but it might be a different engine option that the other one didn't have that we can really tune up and get a little faster for you guys. Speed Hunters Drift Custom M3. I like it. Speed Hunters Drag Custom for the Dark Horse. Cool. Need for Speed Underground Series inspired Drag M3 Competition Touring. Underground Series inspired Ford Mustang Dark Horse. 4 Lakeshore Racer vehicles. Check back each week for what? So over the next 4 weeks, by the looks of things, we're going to get more of the custom cars that were found in the single player. And then community challenges custom. This is something that they were hinting at earlier that we read about. As you do those community challenges, tearing up the cops or doing whatever, the link ups plus is what I'm going to refer to it. That would be, eventually you will unlock a customs car, which maybe they'll rework something or give us something really special at the end of that. It's not just a body kit, but there's some pretty sick body kits. So we'll see what's up. And then they've got asterisks and ups for what's available in the premium speed pass, which is not, but whatever. We'll figure it out as they go. So the speed pass, as you guys know, which is like their live service, you pay $10, you get the unlocks. And at this point, they've got my money. I'm buying it outright because I want to continue to further the progression of this game. Guys, they have to make money. EA as a parent company is a motherfucker to work with. And if it's not making money, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And they will drop stuff as fast as they get it because it's not making money. So they have shareholders to please. That's how it works. The Unbound dev team is small. they've cut them and scattered them to the wind. There's very few people working on this stuff. So when they release a speed pass and I can kick them $10 and then they'll continue to put into the game that I love so much, that to me is me showing, hey, here's my dollars. Keep giving me content. And I'm not advocating for you to spend your money. You do whatever you want. But I will take a stand and say I don't think that it's a bad deal. I bought the Rocket League pass for months, years, and for cars I don't play with. So anyway, it's whatever. It's $10. All right, so we got more LED rims. We got LED plates. We've got added beat matched rims. Some of you guys might have saw this teased. You know, there was a social media post going around with this where it was like showing different rims that like have actual animations as you drive, which is kind of cool. New decal, Ode to Neville. For those of you guys that don't know, the guy, his name is Chris. He passed away. He played Neville in Carbon, and so they got a decal for him, which is cool. I like that. We now have spinners. I'm not a spinner guy, but like, it wouldn't be Underground without spinners, right? And that's the truth. I think all of us had some spinners when we were playing the OG Underground games. So we got more new rims. This is actually pretty cool because Rotiform's coming in with some, and then we'll see what else they come out with. But the fact that we've actually got some new rims to play with is really exciting for me. From a styling portion, a lot of you guys like to get that fitment, get that body kit look. That's cool. That shows that they're actually still paying for licensing for rims that are not currently in the game, and that's really good for us to see, you guys. Bring my work TE37s, please. All right, added new premium VFX. You guys saw the thumbnail. It literally looks like the road's on fire, like there's, you know, whatever. Those are cool. I think they're pretty sweet. We got new titles. Cool. A lot of people like those. I really don't care for them myself, but hey, I like that they're adding stuff for us. So we move on. There's a whole lot more. So we've got new plates, new decals like the Neville one, transparent turbo fans. This is cool. So the turbo fan is the big hubcap looking wheel on the front that's got all the little slits or inlets on it, and when you're driving at speed, that creates a low pressure zone for a lot of air to get sucked into the wheel, which this would cool your brake calipers and your rotors and such. And so that's kind of cool. The fact that we have transparent ones, that might look really tight. And so when we do car shows, I'll know if you guys actually did your brakes or not. We got some new underglows, probably new colors that flash, whoop-de-doo. I think we've got every color combination on the planet already, so I don't know what they're doing there. New character skins, that's cool. New projections. I liked the projections. I thought those were a neat add-on to everything. We got some XP boosts. Those are nice, so you get more XP. And then twin smoke. I'm not really sure what to expect with the twin smoke. That'd be cool. Hopefully they fixed the overall tags, like when you're drifting or doing jumps or whatever, how the graphics come off the car. It's a little bugged right now to where if you don't like equip that as the last thing that you equip before you go into free roam, it doesn't always stay on the car. I've run into that a bunch, so hopefully they've maybe updated that. We go into the quality of life. They added manual resets on the track, and so I have been a victim of this. I think all of us have. When you're driving, you'll get into a situation where you've gone off the track or you've crashed or you've hit a tree, but you've not actually crashed. You've not got that reset to where it puts you back on track. They've added it to where we can now manually do that. Before we get into a situation where that becomes an exploit, because mark my words, if there's a way to get around the track faster by reset scuffing, we will probably find a way to do it. As a community, that's how we do things out here. But when it comes to my records and the lap times that I keep catalog of, that will not be accepted. But that being said, whatever. What they've done here is really nice. So if you're facing the wrong way and your speed's under 30 mile an hour, it'll reset you, and then, or you can do that, and then if your speed is under 30, you can just manually reset. So I can already think of a few corners on a few tracks where a reset might be the move. We'll see. A prompt will appear, and then you can do it, and you're good to go. They've made changes to the suspension dampening values. I believe that this is a blanket across the game in every car. So this will improve curb reactions at high speed. This could be really good for a lot of us because some of us on certain tracks, depending on what car you're in, you'll hit the curb and it really makes the car unpredictable and puts you into a crash scenario or just an out of control scenario where you're losing a lot of speed. So hopefully this will help out a bunch. And they're trying something to help with basically change the situation without adjusting the entire handling model. So I think that's great. We move on to the fixes. Fix the bug where the speed pass wouldn't give you stuff, and so that's nice. Banner rewards now show in the multiplayer reward screen. PS5's got Dolby Atmos working correctly. Fix the resetting at high speed on You Gotta Be Shitting Me, which I think it was actually You Gotta Be Kidding Me, but apparently we've decided to change the name so you don't go flying off the track after a reset. The R8 is now awarded at the start of the game, like other Speed Pass cars, or like all other Speed Pass cars. I know a lot of you guys ran into a situation where you unlocked the R8, but you didn't have the R8. And so this looks like they may have fixed that. More CPU spike reductions. This is good, guys. If you are on PC, there is a patch, and you can hit me up in Discord for it. I can link you to it. We have it as a pinned comment. It was actually crafted for Need for Speed Heat, where your CPU would just be chugging along at like 100% values, and it would just be working super, super hard. And it's because the game coding was not allocating your CPU processors and the threads equally, and so it would be just using everything a ton. And with this little piece of code that we can inject into the game, it made it and took my system, and I have a 5800X, which is an 8-core 16-thread processor, and I was running like 100% all the time. It was causing my stream to lag. By just using this bit of code, it took me down to like 45 or 50% utilization while I was driving then, so it made the game a lot more playable. Hopefully this is something that they're doing for a blanket across all computers, and it'll help everybody out. But if you struggle with that, to where your overall CPU is getting loaded very heavily, my Discord, we've got a link for that. Fixed lobby invites, sometimes not showing the new sticker when they should be. Fixed collectible XP notifications. Fixed a bug where the camera would try to avoid a car the player has no collision with in drift events. That's cool. I didn't really do a lot of drift events, but at least they're improving that. Fixed the issue where players would rarely not receive Speed Pass reward when switching console/save game. Fix the issue in multiplayer when some of the cops that were active in a pursuit of a player would stop seeing them if another nearby player left the server. Okay. So yeah, we're still here. They got, you know, a little more fluff there, but overall at the end of the day, they've done a very good job with this. I really do not have a single complaint over what I've read here. There's only one bug fix that I personally am looking for that is not on this list. And when they fixed the auxiliaries, they changed the way that near misses functioned. It used to be before the auxiliary patch in volume 6, 2 near misses would give you 1 bar of boost. Now, 2 near misses will give you 0.99 bars of boost. So you don't have 2 bars. You don't have 1 bar. You've got almost 1 bar. So you either need to get 3 near misses or 2 near misses and some draft or a micro drift or whatever it might be, but you had to cheat that up just a little bit to get that single bar. Hopefully they've resolved that. They don't have it in here, but it was a very minuscule thing that they needed to change a little bit. So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I'm not sure, but at the end of the day, it is cool to see that they have made a lot of improvements here. Just to recap everything that I think is going to be exciting, the drag events are awesome. We've got tons of new playlists to play with. We've got a couple of new cars with the new handling model. That's great. I'm very happy to see it. They've changed the way that we interact with the curbs. That's wonderful. And they've added some really sick new tires that is going to make those drifts even more steezy and more kicked out. So overall, there's a lot to unpack. Stay tuned. Lock into the channel if you're not. My channel, self pat on the back here. We've got the pulse of Need for Speed Unbound better than anybody else. I brush shoulders and I'm friends with the fastest guys in the game. They help me develop a lot of stuff. I've got my man Nil Kappa and a whole slew of other guys in the garage. We're always pushing the limits of these cars, so that way you guys have got the best on the streets. And at the end of the day, Thank you guys so much for watching. I am very thankful for you. I don't have a channel without viewers, and that's you guys. So you have a great rest of your day. Please like the video if you haven't yet, so some others will see it, because this is only relevant for about the next 48 hours. Because once the new patch drops, nobody's going to watch it again. So if we can get in front of a few people to make it worth everybody's time, that'd be awesome. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.